Hello again. Andrew here with another tutorial. I'm trying to do a kind of a thing that habit of mine is probably not that uncommon, but just trying to do like 2 to 3 different tutorials while the songs are fresh in my mind before it falls down into the river of forgetfulness and forever. But yeah, this is Angelo de Augustine. I'm gonna try to make this quick because it is a pretty simple song, as insofar as the chords and like the verse lyric. It's not like a long song. It's a nice little ditty that I like to put on repeat a lot. Especially these past few years, I've been appreciating stuff by Angelo de Augustine via hearing about him through Sufjan Stevens, which, I like that he's, Asthmatic Kitty Records. I think he founded that with his father-in-law, I believe, a while back, I think in like the late 90s. And he's been featuring all sorts of different, just really, really talented artists that deserve recognition. If you're not like subscribed or in the know about that, I definitely recommend them. But yeah, they have other bands like Castanets. I think they did that one song on the Hotline Miami thing where it's like a you are the blood in this seems but yeah, they've anyway, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so Angelo de Augustine and Sufjan Stevens actually collaborated on this one too. They also did A Beginner's Mind, which I actually have right here. Oh wait, no, that's not it. It's not there. Just trust me. Well, anyway, I do have Javelin, but yeah, that's besides the point. I was gonna try to kind of point out that I do have the record, but anyway. So yeah, so this is in blue. He does this like a picking pattern, and he actually plays it on a ukulele, I think it's the name of it. It's a type of, I think the brand Cordoba makes them, but they're like kind of, it's like a guitar, it's like a classical guitar. I thought this would be fitting by using the classical guitar, and it's also a lot easier to keep stuff in tune here. It's like I haven't had to retune this for good for a hard minute, but yeah, it's basically, it has like some of them I know are basically the equivalent of if you put your capo on like 5, in 5 steps up tuning. That's pretty much what a ukulele is, but I think he's playing it, and then he might be, because of that, he's playing shapes that are, might be entirely different from what I'm playing, but I just kind of, since I'm naturally more by ear, I just looked up, or I just kind of heard out the chords, and I heard he was playing like this. He's like playing that kind of. I didn't detect a down tuning though. I did not hear any like kind of D, like D do, like drop D tuning. But I did hear. So yeah, it's like. Just trying to get to hang on. Beautiful chords. But yeah, I noticed, not to say that it's a common thing, but I noticed that there's not a ton of like bass notes. You're not hearing that. You're hearing more so this. You're hearing that, and you're hearing like, that's probably the lowest, is that D right there. But Angelo de Augustine uses interesting different tunings as well on different things as well. So, but I was too lazy to tune in a different tuning, even though I have 2 guitars. But so it's like G on the 5th fret with that, and then some neat little chord shapes. Like that. So I'm just gonna start the first lyric, where he does this, where it's like it starts on an E minor 9, and this is a 2-5-1 type of thing. So if you're not familiar with 2-5-1 in jazz, it's basically, if you like look at this on the keyboard, it's probably easier to visualize on the piano. Maybe that's what I'm more used to, but it's just like D and then the major. So that's a second. That's a minor second. Although he does use barred chords later on, you know. So minor second, minor. But it has a kind of like, if you call that cluster chord, or you know, minor 9th, E minor 9, to A major 9, or I'm sorry, not A major 9, A add 9. If you played a major 9, it would sound like, that would sound like pretty out of whack, unless you're doing something jazzier and freer. But it's technically that, or a just between us, something moving towards the night. So yeah, what I noticed with Augustine in general and Sufjan Stevens is they like to use what I like to call kind of droning picking patterns that sound deceptively simple, like keeping the chord shapes changing on the top, for example, in this case, and then less so with that A, but you know, when you get back here, it's like, but you know, that D, that tonic, back to the root chord, and then, but not changing anything, like literally not changing. You can do that if you want to spice things up a little bit. Add a hammer on, pull off. Pull is probably more apt, but yeah. 2G, major 7, and again, it's like actually a major, it's G major 7 add 6, because that 6 is ringing out up top, that da da da. So it's basically that G, and then on the chorus it does so blue. Here's where the board goes. So it's like E major. So it's doing D blue, ho, ho. Or you know, so blue, ho, ho. And then it does it once. You know, just very simple. But then he's like, does that, and then he does like, so it's like, I turn 5. You can also do A up here too. Yeah, your mom left it, see it no time. To that G again, right? So it's pretty simple, I'd say, like kind of self-explanatory. Like, I don't want to get too much into details and the weeds on that, because it's like, yeah, but yeah, you could do that. You can do that. I think what he's doing is like, he's playing it with ringing out that G. That, but you can also play it like this with that. My thing is my kind of thing is like I try to cram in too much stuff, so I'm like, oh, I want to do that, but also do that or something, or do this, because you do hear that too, like kind of like this, that kind of chord shape there. So yeah, but then he goes to our bridge, where he's like, my Madonna prayer. And that's an interesting thing, because I've heard that Sufjan Stevens use that kind of thing of like, I think he uses that kind of in like, or is it? Or yeah, he's like, there's like a, And then it's like in Eugene by Sufjan, he uses similar chords like yeah, like a giant fell from the diamond tree. And then he does that's what it is, like one no lie, so it is a similar thing where it's like those chord shapes. It's basically up, literally half a step, but it's like you get this beautiful kind of ringing out chord right here. Like you get this. You could also play it like this, but it doesn't sound like there's that tension in the F major or F sharp major. It's actually F sharp minor. My Madonna prayed. It's really hard to nail his vocal style. Angelo de Augustine's, his voice is so inimitable. Like I can't get it. Like I can't emulate it, because it's like not only it's not just that he's able to sing high, but it's also he's able to sing high naturally, like my Madonna prayed, or like, or friend of mine, just to me it sounds like horrible because I'm singing countertenor and I can't sing that range, at least. Some days it feels like I can't sing at all, but just between us and our living little door. Now, yeah, but yeah, if you hear like other, I'm not saying he sings like that all the time, because he actually is quite experimental and free, has a really interesting range of different tones he uses, especially on his newest album, I think, The Toil and the Trouble, which is like a fantastic album. Some of these days I'd actually like to do like a little bit of a review thing, where I do like little music reviews for like lesser known kind of albums, but can't do it all. Anyway, so yeah, he does that, and he's like, during the bridge, he's like, to G, half step, and just that ringing out on nylon is just really beautiful. I'm glad I got this guitar. Anyway, so it's like, child saved for nothing the same. Now I'm born again. Now I'm born again. Oh, to A. It's kind of like every day, every day. And then you go back to the beautiful minor ninth. Dream mine. It's an ocean, you can feel it if you try. Which is that again, and then he goes back to the chorus, and then except this time with the chorus, there's some changes here. So it's like this. So it's like so blue. So it's like so blue. You can also do it like this. It's like wait. You could do that. In fact, I think Sufjan Stevens is like plugging a higher guitar in the background, so doing that kind of thing. So he's like, so it's E, or I'm sorry, D to E major, or E7, depending. You can also play it like this on the 7th fret too. Or, and then, well, the next time he does it, it's like, and then he goes like kind of a walk down like this. He does something like that. Now here's where I admit I actually don't know for sure what he's doing, but I think it's like for you. On the last time he does an E minor instead of an E major, I believe, and he's like, usually goes back to the major key, or back to the tonal kind of stuff. To D, and then he's doing chord inversions too, like or instead of doing like a minor, doing a and I think it ends on that kind of like a. And I hear a bit of that, like a different song, probably one of my favorites of all time, actually. It's called Tomb by Angelo D. Augustine. He does a similar kind of suspended thing, but it's capoed higher up. I think it's in B flat technically, but he's like doing something like it's like a Here's something like and he does like your last time, and he does a very something like dark visions of Poseidon. But ending on kind of a minor chord, but like it's still wistful, like totally melancholy. It's not like a totally depressing minor chord, but just like a hopeful kind of weird way of ending, but like still adding a bit of tension where it's like blue, blue, blue. I believe Sufjan says something like that, just to kind of put this kind of in context, because I think he does that like in Carry Lowell. I think it's like one of his songs. He does kind of a similar thing where it's like kind of like. Something like that. But anyway, that is Blue by Angelo D. Augustine and Sufjan Stevens. I hope that helped out a little bit at the picking pattern. I try to get, just keep it like pretty, a consistent kind of D9 to but then, at the end I forgot, there's some point he does this. He does like a kind of, he adds like a he does that just once, I think. But yeah, that's kind of all I got for now. Thank you for sticking through it, and see you in the next one.